Hello everyone. This is Six Path Weeb, and I warmly welcome you all back to my YouTube channel. Today's fanfic continues an exciting journey where two different worlds collide. Our topic for this video is When Naruko Turns into a Pokémon, Part 3. The story dives deeper into the unexpected transformation, the challenges that follow, and the adventures waiting ahead as the shinobi world meets the mysterious universe of Pokémon. Disclaimer: the content on this channel is created for entertainment and discussion purposes only. I do not own any of the anime footage used in my videos. All rights and credits belong to their respective creators and copyright holders. Now that everything is set, let's begin. Morning sunlight streamed through the tall windows of the grand suite, warming the soft carpet and the neatly arranged furniture. The room had finally grown quiet after all the earlier confusion. Naruko rubbed the top of her head and let out a small groan. "Oh ow ow. I think my brain is still bouncing around in there," she said. Naruko was an energetic young ninja with bright golden hair that framed her cheerful face. Her eyes were lively and curious, and even when she was tired she carried an unmistakable spark of determination. At the moment, though, she looked a little dizzy. "I'm really sorry," Luca said quickly. She had already changed back into her normal clothes and looked very embarrassed. "I thought you were one of the twins playing another trick." Naruko waved her hand. "It's okay. I've had worse bumps while training," she said with a grin. "Besides, pranks happen." Haku, who had been quietly watching the situation, nodded thoughtfully. "The twins do seem to enjoy causing surprises," Haku said gently. Luca crossed her arms and sighed. "They can't just keep getting away with it," she said. "I should come up with a prank to get them back." She paused. Then she paused longer. "Actually, I have no idea how to do that." Naruko's eyes lit up immediately. "Oh. I know lots about harmless pranks," she said, jumping up with excitement. "Don't worry, they'll be silly, not mean." Luca looked skeptical. "How do I know you're good at this?" Naruko puffed up proudly. "Once I replaced all the sugar in my teacher's kitchen with salt. And then secretly switched it back before breakfast so nobody noticed," she said. "It took amazing timing." Haku covered a small smile. "That does sound complicated." "Exactly," Naruko said proudly. "Now here's the plan." She grabbed a notepad from the desk and began scribbling. "We'll need sticky notes, balloons, string, a camera, and a bunch of breadsticks." "Breadsticks?" Luca asked. Naruko nodded seriously. "Trust me. When they open their door, hundreds of sticky notes will float out like confetti, balloons will bounce everywhere, and there will be a giant sign that says, 'Surprise! Prank Champions!'" Hatsune leaned forward with curiosity. "That actually sounds funny," she said. "Can I record it?" "Yes," Naruko said. "We'll make it the happiest surprise ever." The room filled with a lighter mood. Luca finally smiled. "All right," she said. "That prank I can agree with." Just then, ring. Ring. A device on the table began to vibrate. Naruko blinked. "Huh?" Ken, Luca's manager, looked around. Someone's communicator is ringing. Naruko reached into her pocket and pulled out her own device. It was flashing brightly. "Oh. That's mine." She tapped the screen. "Hello?" There was a brief pause. Then a familiar, cheerful voice spoke from the other side. "Naruko. I was wondering when you'd answer." Naruko's eyes widened. "Wait. Master Jiraiya?" The others leaned closer with curiosity. Naruko laughed. "Guess what?" she said happily. "I think a brand new adventure is about to start." "Oh, do you mind if I get this?" Naruko asked. "Not at all, go for it, friend," Ken said. "Sweet," Naruko said, picking up the incoming call. "Hello?" "Ah, good. This number works," Ken exclaimed, not realizing it was Naruko on the other end. "Is this the right number? Am I speaking to the Gamma Sennin?" "Who wants to know?" Naruko asked. "I'm the manager for Megarine, Luca. Have you heard of her?" Ken questioned. "Yeah, recently I've heard of her." Naruko stopped abruptly at the same time Ken did. The two slowly turned around to look at each other. "You're the author of Icha Icha?" Luca/Ken exclaimed. "Oh no," Naruko muttered, a little flustered now that her secret was out. In a blink, she found Ken right in front of her, holding 5 copies of Icha Icha. "Please sign my books, please sign my books, please sign my books," Ken exclaimed, eyes sparkling like stars. "And this is why I try to keep it a secret," Naruko said with a small sigh, gently nudging Ken aside. You're a bit of a trickster, Luka exclaimed, turning her head to hide a shy smile. I'm not a trickster. Naruko replied, posing dramatically like Jiraiya would. I'm a super trickster. If you knew about this in the first place, why make that bet? Luka asked. Because I needed some inspiration for the next story, Naruko explained. Speaking of which. She pulled out her notepad and pencil, scribbling down ideas with energetic determination. She paused to look at Luka. By the way, do you have any fun ideas for a story character? Kya, Luka exclaimed, lightly tapping Naruko on the shoulder with a plush toy she happened to have nearby. Where'd the plush come from? Naruko groaned, laughter in her voice. What's happening now, Naruko? Hatsune asked as she walked into the room, seeing Naruko and Luka in their usual playful chaos. She's asking for my ideas for a story character, Luka said, cheeks pink with excitement. It's not every day you get to meet the Gamma Sennin, Ken said with a grin. And you just got playfully tapped with a plush toy. Then that means. Hatsune started, eyes widening in realization. Gee, why don't you just tell everyone who I am, Naruko said, mock exasperation dripping from her voice. You're the trickster, Hatsune began. Super trickster, Naruko corrected with a wink. Super trickster who writes those Icha books? Hatsune asked, holding out a little cyan-colored notebook. Naruko's eyes twinkled. Well, of course, Naruko said, taking a pen and signing Hatsune's notebook with a flourish. Luka and Ken looked on, mouths open in surprise, one because her friend had bravely asked for a signature, the other because she got hers signed first. It warms my heart to know that my mentor's stories still inspire people, Naruko added warmly. Mentor? Hatsune asked. Former mentor, Naruko replied. She taught me everything about storytelling. Oh. I should make a call before our next creative session. Creative session? Hatsune asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. How else do I get inspiration for stories? Naruko said with a grin. Luka hid her face behind her hands, giggling. Naruko laughed and playfully draped an arm around Luka's shoulders. You're going to be my new story hero. Luka? My story hero? Wow, that's amazing, Hatsune said. You'll be the hero in my next adventure, Naruko added, making Luka squeal in surprise. Brave, clever, and full of heart. Can we join too? Maybe Rin and Mako would like to play characters as well, Hatsune asked, bouncing with excitement. Of course. The more, the merrier, Naruko said. Let's create a world full of magic, friendship, and fun adventures. And with that, the room filled with laughter, ideas, and playful energy as Naruko, Luka, Ken, and Hatsune began crafting a story that would be remembered in their little corner of the world, a story of friendship, imagination, and a touch of harmless mischief. I'm kick-ass. Naruko grinned, earning a surprised look from Hatsune. I hate to cut our little chat short, but I promised some people I'd help them with something important, she said, heading toward the exit. Oh, and please, for the love of Kami, don't reveal my secret to anyone else. There's an Icha holiday edition in it for you if you do. And what makes this one different from the one Luka and I already have? Hatsune asked, both women holding their own copies of Icha holiday edition. This one is the year-round edition. Only 5 copies exist, Naruko said, slipping out before Hatsune, Luka, and Ken could fully grasp what she'd just said. Year-round. Holiday. Edition. Hatsune thought. Her and Luka's copies only covered winter holidays. 5 copies. In existence. Ken muttered. Could it be? Were the rumors true? Must. Have. All 3 whispered together. By the time they shook themselves out of the trance, Naruko was long gone. Dash. With Red. Red wandered through the busy streets of Nimbasa City, pausing when he sensed 2 familiar auras nearby. So that's where they are, he murmured, turning into a side alley until he heard a pair of familiar voices. Pika Pikachu Pi Pika Pi. Pikachu called. Jiggly Jig Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff replied defensively. Pika? Jigglypuff? What are you two doing here? Red asked. Pika Pi? Pikachu tilted her head questioningly. Yeah, it's me. Good to see you too, Red replied. Jiggly, Jigglypuff Jiggly? Jigglypuff questioned. Arceus sent me to look after Naruko, but plans changed, Red said, watching their expressions shift with surprise. Jiggly? Jigglypuff asked. I figured you two were nearby, so I wanted to see if you'd help me with a little experiment, Red explained. Pika-pie. Pikachu nodded. Jigglypuff jiggly, Jigglypuff agreed. Perfect. Now we just need a plan to get her alone. Red muttered. Dash. With Naruko. A sigh escaped Naruko as she finally stepped out of the Lebeacon Luminu Hotel. Time to make that call, she said, dialing the number Chi and Ro had given her. Professor Uzumaki? We2 called, catching Naruko's attention. Naruko turned to see We2 a few yards away. Ah. We2, good to see you. Naruko smiled, and the girl blushed a little. What brings you to Nimbasa City? And where's the rest of your group? Bianca and Hilda are checking out the theater district, Charon's at the Pokémon Center, and Hilbert went to find the gym leader, We2 replied. What about you? I was about to call Chi and Ro to help with their little situation, Naruko said. Hello? Chi called through the transceiver. Who is this? Ro asked. Chi? Ro? It's me, Naruko, she said. Hi Uncle Chi. Hi Uncle Ro. We2 squealed. We2? Is that you? How's it going? Chi replied. Pretty good. I'm in Nimbasa City right now. We need to talk to Naruko about meeting our king, Ro said. Luckily, he's near the Ferris wheel in the amusement park, Chi added. Look for someone in a white lab coat with blonde hair. Gee, so descriptive, Naruko deadpanned. They've never been the best at describing anything, We2 shrugged. Can I come along? Please. We2 begged, giving Naruko puppy dog eyes. Sure, why not, Naruko said with a shrug, ignoring the puppy dog eyes. Come on, we don't have all day. We2 shook herself out of surprise and ran to catch up. Naruko pulled a white lab coat seemingly out of nowhere and slipped it on. Where'd the lab coat come from? We2 asked. Yes, We2, yes I did, Naruko replied with a cheeky grin. Dash. Nimbasa Amusement Park. Among the crowds, a young woman sighed. Standing at 5 feet 7 inches, with short blonde hair and sparkling blue eyes, she wore headphones and a fashionable outfit of bright colors. She was Nimbasa City's gym leader, Elisa, taking a well-earned lunch break. Life as both a gym leader and model wasn't easy. And that's why I was thrown out of Mobile Food Court. Naruko finished. Wow. I didn't know that was possible with breadsticks. We2 exclaimed. Maybe one day I'll teach you, Naruko said, ruffling We2's hair. Aren't you the wandering Pokémon professor, Professor Uzumaki? Elisa called. Finally, some recognition. Okay, everyone take 5. Naruko called, causing her cage bunshines to vanish along with their smoke and instruments. So who are you, and how do you know of my greatness? I'm Elisa, gym leader of Nimbasa City and fashion model. I read about you in the Gamma Senin, she explained. Oh yes, that's. Wait, what about the Gamma Senin? Totally not me, Naruko said nervously, chuckling. Yes, it is. Here's the article, Elisa said, showing her transceiver. What? Let me see, Naruko exclaimed, grabbing it briefly before Elisa pulled it back. Would you sign my book? Elisa and We2 asked, holding their copies of Icha Icha. Naruko froze for a moment, then brightened. Oh right. She pulled out a pen and signed both. Elisa smiled and handed Naruko a small card. My modeling number. And my personal number, if you ever want to contact me, she said warmly. I can't deny it. She truly is remarkable, Kurama whispered. N? We2 called, freezing at the sight of a figure near the Ferris wheel. King N, she gasped. King N? Naruko questioned. Are you the blonde lab coat wearing person Chi and Ro told me about? N asked. They're not the best at descriptions, We2 laughed awkwardly. True, N agreed, turning to Naruko. So you're the one who's going to help us with the plan? Pretty much. Nothing better to do, Naruko said cheerfully. Really? N asked. Exactly. She beamed, making everyone sweat a little. Suddenly, a soft voice called, Jigglypuff. Eh? What Pokémon is that? We2 asked. The Jigglypuff in front of them tilted her head curiously. That's Jigglypuff, the balloon Pokémon, Naruko said, crouching to meet its eyes. But what's she doing here? Hey, what's it doing now? That spinning move. We2 asked, watching as Jigglypuff twirled faster and faster. Well, if I'm reading this correctly, that move is, Naruko began, before Jigglypuff's playful twirl sent her soaring lightly into the sky, laughing all the way. Rolo Naruko shouted, spinning through the air like a shooting star. She landed with a soft thump in a clearing, sending up a tiny cloud of dust. What just happened? Alisa asked, blinking in surprise. I think Professor Uzumaki just made a very enthusiastic entrance, we two replied, a tiny bead of sweat forming on his forehead. Jiggly jig Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff cheered proudly, bouncing in place. Why, you little rascal, N said, laughing, she was trying to help us on our adventure. And I was just about to finish my work as gym leader. Alisa added, shaking her head but smiling. Jigglypuff began to sing, a gentle, lilting melody that made everyone's eyelids grow heavy. We too, Alisa, and N soon dozed off under the soft tune. Jigglypuff, seeing her friends asleep, sketched funny little doodles on their clothes before bouncing away to catch up with Naruko. Lostlorn Forest. In the quiet, leafy forest, a small sparkling light hung in the sky, even though it was daytime. The light grew brighter as it moved closer, until it became a tiny figure who zipped through the trees. Naruko landed with a flip, dust puffing from her boots near a little wooden trailer. A young woman peeked out of the trailer, curious at the commotion. She saw Naruko, her hair golden like sunshine, tumbling head over heels in a small crater she had made. After a moment, the woman smiled and stepped back inside, closing the door. Naruko stood up, brushing herself off. TCH, Jigglypuff. She muttered with a grin. Suddenly, she sensed two mysterious presences nearby. Pika Pi, Pikachu Pika, Pikachu called cheerfully. Looks like someone's ready for a friendly challenge, Red said, holding a Pokeball. Naruko reached for her own Pokeballs, but Pikachu dashed forward with a spark of electricity. Naruko leapt to the side, giggling as Pikachu zipped past her. Hi! Pikachu! Pikachu chirped, spinning in a playful circle. Naruko narrowed her eyes playfully, a familiar orange swirl appearing around them. All right. For you, this will be fun. With a flash, she disappeared in a blur, leaving Pikachu and Red blinking in surprise. When Naruko reappeared behind Pikachu, she gently tapped him with a playful frog strike, sending him rolling safely into a soft patch of leaves. Pikachu squeaked in surprise, but quickly hopped back up, ready for more. Come on out, Charizard. Red called. From the Pokeball came a big, friendly flame Pokémon with a warm glow. Charizard flexed her wings, ready to play, not fight. Naruko grinned. Now this will be fun. She zipped around Charizard, laughing as the two played a game of tag through the trees. Sparks of light and laughter filled the forest as they leapt and twirled. Kurama's voice echoed in her mind. She's enjoying herself. Remember, it's all about fun, not fighting. They are not trying to hurt me, Naruko thought. They just want to test how fast I am. Maybe we'll see each other again. Soon, we too, Alisa, and N arrived, covered in little Jigglypuff doodles. Naruko couldn't stop giggling at the sight. Nothing too exciting, she said with a wink, shrugging as she dusted herself off. Alisa only shook her head, laughing, and led Naruko back toward the city, their laughter echoing in the sunny streets. Unknown location. And that's what happened, Red finished, Pikachu and Jigglypuff beside him as he spoke to Master Hand. I see, Master Hand said, the air quiet for a few seconds as everyone considered his words. If I may, Red began, drawing Master Hand's attention fully. I propose we send someone else to meet her, to see how she handles a visitor from another world. Jigglypuff? Jigglypuff asked curiously. Exactly, Red nodded. But who should go? I've already reached out to a friend who's prepared for something like this, Master Hand said. She should be arriving soon. I've already arrived, a clear, metallic voice said, carrying a calm but confident tone. Red, Pikachu, and Jigglypuff turned to see who had come. Standing before them was a tall, heroic woman clad in red, yellow, and orange armor, her helmet shining with a green visor. In place of her right arm, she carried a remarkable, otherworldly device that glimmered like a star. Ah yes. Perfect timing, as always, Samus, Master Hand said. She's been briefed. You will help her find the potential participant. Understood, Red, Pikachu, and Jigglypuff chorused, nodding eagerly. I expect your full report on her potential within a week, Master Hand said, and with that, the dimensional link closed. So, who is this potential I'm supposed to meet? Samus asked, her tone curious. Her name is Naruko Uzumaki, Red replied. In this world, some call her the wandering Pokémon professor. What makes her so special in this dimension? Samus asked, studying Red closely. She's not originally from here, Red explained. Her energy is unique, strong, and bright, so much so that it radiates wherever she goes. Tracking her won't be difficult, and observing her will teach you a lot. Samus nodded, her visor reflecting a determined glint. Very well, then. Let the adventure begin. Dear YouTube family. This is all for now. Thank you for your support, your likes, shares, and subscriptions mean the world. Regards. 6 Path Weeb.